What if the most valuable thing you own is the one thing you keep wasting every single day? Tim was known in his neighborhood for one thing, doing absolutely nothing. While other teenagers woke up early, helped their parents, or worked toward their dreams, Tim stayed in bed until noon, scrolling endlessly on his phone. His afternoons disappeared into video games, laughter with friends, and mindless distractions. Homework ignored, responsibilities avoided, dreams. "I'll think about it later," he always said. His parents watched quietly at first. His mother would stand at the doorway holding freshly folded laundry. "Can you at least help me with this?" "Later, Mom," he muttered, eyes glued to his screen. His father tried a different approach. "Come help me at the shop today. I'll teach you something useful." "Today, Dad, maybe tomorrow." But tomorrow never came. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and Tim remained exactly the same. One evening, his parents sat together in silence. Concern filled the room like heavy smoke. "We have to do something," his mother whispered. His father nodded slowly. "I have an idea, but it's not a lesson he'll forget easily." Next morning, Tim's father walked into his room holding an old, worn-out watch. He said calmly, "I want you to take this watch to the supermarket and ask people how much they think it's worth." Frowned. "That's it? That's it." Shrugging, Tim grabbed the watch and headed out, thinking it would be an easy task. At the supermarket, he approached a man. "Excuse me, how much do you think this watch is worth?" The man glanced at it. Maybe $5. Nodded and moved on. A woman said, $10 if it still works." A teenager laughed. "Looks ancient, I'd give you $2. Each person gave a different price, some higher, some lower, but none seemed to value it much. That evening, Tim returned home. "Well?" his father asked. They said different things. 5, 10, 2, it's not worth much. His father simply nodded. "Good, tomorrow I want you to do something else." Next day, his father handed him the same watch. "Back to the supermarket," he said, "but this time ask people, what is the time inside this watch worth?" Tim blinked. "What kind of question is that? Just do it." Confused but curious, Tim returned to the same place. He approached a man again. "Excuse me. What is the time inside this watch worth?" The man stared at him, then burst out laughing. "What kind of nonsense is that?" Another person waved him away. "Time? Worth? Kid, are you joking?" A group of teenagers mocked him openly. "Hey, how much is your time worth?" They laughed. Tim felt his face burn with embarrassment. He tried again and again. But everywhere he went, people laughed, ignored him, or treated him like a fool. Finally, humiliated and discouraged, Tim stopped. His hands tightened around the watch. "What am I even doing?" he muttered. "This is stupid." He turned to go home, his steps heavy, his heart sinking. As he walked past a small, quiet street, a gentle voice called out, "Hey, young man, come here." Looked up. An old woman sat inside a tiny shop filled with clocks and watches of all shapes and sizes. The ticking of time filled the air like a quiet orchestra. "Why do you look so sad?" she asked kindly. Tim hesitated, then stepped inside. "I was asking people strange questions about this watch," he said, holding it out. "They laughed at me." Woman took the watch carefully, examining it with experienced eyes. "And what did you ask them?" "First, how much it's worth. Then what the time inside it is worth." Woman paused. Then she smiled, a deep, knowing smile. "Ah," she said softly. "Your father is a wise man." Looked confused. "What do you mean?" She gestured for him to sit. "Tell me, young man. When people gave you prices for the watch, were they all the same?" "No," Tim said. "Everyone said something different." "Exactly," she replied. "Because the object has a price. It can be measured, compared, bought, sold." She leaned closer, her eyes gentle but sharp. "But time," she continued, tapping the watch lightly, "time is different." Listen, suddenly very still. "Time cannot be stored. It cannot be earned back once it is lost. You cannot buy even one extra minute, not with all the money in the world." She pointed to the ticking clocks around them. Kings, millionaires, geniuses, all of them have tried, and all of them have failed. Swallowed. "When people laughed at you," she said, "it's because they've never truly thought about it. But your question, it's one of the most important questions in life." She placed the watch back in his hand. "Young man, this watch is worth a few dollars, but the time inside it," she smiled again, "it is priceless." Filled the shop. For the first time in a long time, Tim felt something shift inside him. All those hours on his phone, all those endless games, all the tomorrows he had wasted gone forever. He stood up slowly. "I think I understand now," he said quietly. The old woman nodded. "Then don't waste another second." Ran home, he burst through the door, breathing heavily. He called. His father looked up calmly. "So, what did you learn?" Tim held up the watch. "This isn't about the watch, is it?" His father smiled faintly. "No, it's about time," Tim said. "And how I've been wasting it." For a moment, no one spoke. Then Tim said something his parents had been waiting to hear for a long time. "I want to change." He did. The next morning, Tim woke up early. He helped his mother around the house without being asked. He joined his father at the business, learning patiently, asking questions, making mistakes, and improving. He focused in school. He worked when he didn't feel like it. He chose discipline over distraction. It wasn't easy, but every time he felt like going back to his old habits, he remembered the ticking of the watches and the words of the old woman. "You cannot buy even one extra minute." Years passed. Tim grew into a responsible, hardworking man. He became a skilled manager respected by others, not because of talent alone, but because he valued something most people ignored: time. Moral of the story: time is the most valuable thing you will ever have, and the easiest thing to waste. Once it's gone forever. Spend it wisely. If this story made you think, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. What would you change if you truly understood the value of your time?